super succinct, and we're going to be cutting the floor. So get ready to experience practical tips, strategies, mindsets that works alone. All right. So okay. So I have my slide with me here. All right. If you are in this class, can I just see your eye? Can I just see your eye? If you're in this class already, then all right. I can see wisdom Sima. Yeah. Thank you, wisdom. All right. Okay. So let's go straight. Design thinking masterclass. So by the end of this masterclass, would have all mastered how to create designs that are beautiful and functional. Okay, so somebody might be asking, so what is a beautiful design? I mean, a design is meant to be beautiful, right? It is not just if I tell you, it is not just meant to be beautiful, it is meant to be functional also. And the question of functionality also comes in. Well, somewhere along this class, we'll dive deeper into what that means. So just have this at the back of the mind that by the end of this class, you have learned how to create designs that are beautiful and functional. So, and the overview is that we are just going to look at what makes design thinking important, understanding design thinking. Then we are going to be treating one case study that design thinking was applied. I mean, how we apply design thinking to a project from start to finish. So, I was talking about that every design should be beautiful and functional. So the question should be, what is a functional design, right? I don't know. Are you following me? Manuel, how much you? Yeah, right? So the question should be, what is a functional design? What makes a design functional? What makes any design at all functional? Okay, the idea is this. A functional design goes, like I have in my slide, I said it goes beyond the mere aesthetics. Look at it in this way. Why would somebody reach out to you that, okay, Jim, I need you to create a business card for me? There's a reason why a business owner, a CEO, or an entrepreneur reaches out to you that, okay, I need a business card. The reason could be perhaps because he has once go for an event, and then maybe people ask that, oh, can I have a phone number? Oh, can I get your contact? Oh, can I? And then he's like, okay, instead of me just sending my phone number to people that might not even remember what they saved my name as, what if there is a card that houses all this information? My name, my email, my phone number, my website address, and pretty cool everything they need to reach out to me, Andy, with them, right? And that is why a business card is needed. So first, beyond the aesthetics, beyond the beautiful business cards you might want to craft, the business card is for a specific function to keep corporate information or entrepreneurial information so that prospective clients can reach out to you whenever they want you. So that is the first reason why you need a business card. And that's why I said designs are meant to be beautiful, not just beautiful, but also functional. So the function of that business card is that it should be able to keep up information. I don't know if you're following me. So now, if you understand that that business card is meant to be functional first before beautiful, beyond the aesthetics, beyond the beauty, it has to be functional too. Then you want to prioritize certain information, and that is why we always have it that the name of the owner of the business card, or perhaps the CEO or whosoever is handling over the business card, the name is always prominent on the business card, followed by the role. Then we have followed by maybe their function, their role, or their position, followed by their information, important information, maybe their email, web address, their the physical address and all the things. We don't try to bamboozle it with so many things. And then we had the logo so that they can remember. Could have added many other things. We could have added many other information. But because it goes beyond the aesthetics, it has to be functional. That is why all of those information are there. And again, and that is just the definition of a functional design. So I wrote it down here that a functional design goes beyond the mere aesthetics. It effectively fulfills the purpose for which it was intended. And I think this is where everybody misses it out. Every enthusiastic graphic designer thinks, oh, graphic design is all about creating something that is beautiful. No, graphic design is actually a creative pursuit to solve problems or profile a tailored solution to a goal, right? So your design is meant to solve problem or achieve a targeted goal. So if your design is solving a problem or achieving a targeted goal, So what are the steps? What are the process you need to follow to solve that problem successfully so that you can, craft a tailored solution as in design for that problem. So that process is what we call design thinking. I don't know if you're following. So I've explained what the functional design is here. So taken the process taken to address a specific problem or to achieve a targeted goal using maybe the instrumentality of graphic design, video editing, in fact, anything. The process you follow to provide a tailored solution to any given problem that design can solve is what we call design thinking. In fact, design thinking is also applicable in other areas of life. And I'll show you other areas of life where it is applicable in a minute. Somewhere along the line. So I don't know if you got that first part of my introduction into what design thinking is. Can I just see your eye? Can I see your eye? All right. So if you got all of that, can I just see you? All right, Sunday, thank you. So basically, we've established now that design thinking is basically to solve problems. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to avoid the light. So as graphic designers, as a graphic designer, as a video editor, as a content creator, whatsoever you are not first designed for aesthetics. You're actually a problem solver. And the industry standard step to solve this problem is what we call design thinking. Period. That is it. And that is what I'm about to hand over to you now. I'm about to hand over that blueprint to you. So, and so let's start. Let's start here, right? All right. So let me share a different tab altogether. So again, in my slide here, I love to work with slides. So I'm going to follow me, and then so all right. So I said design thinking is a user-centric approach to solving problems that emphasizes empathy, creativity, and experimentation by focusing on the need of the end users and design to. So everything I'm just trying to say here is that, of course, you are going to use your tool of creativity. You are going to use a tool of empathy. We all know what empathy is. You're trying to be in the shoes of your target audience. And please never forget, as designers or video editor or web developer or whatever we are, whatever you might do, whatever creative space you might find yourself, we are not actually designing for our clients, especially if it is a business-oriented stuff. We are not actually designing for our client as it were. We're actually designing for the end user. Okay, for example, if you are looking at the graphic design, for a simple business card, the end user is not even our client. It is the client of our clients. So if the design is not appealing enough to our clients or our client's audience, then it has not served the goal. So even if our client loves the design and we love the design, but the clients cannot just find it usable. Imagine you are designing a business card for your clients that is actually going to use the business card at United Arab Emirates, or maybe at Dubai, or maybe a Muslim-speaking country where they read from left to right. For every business card, you place the information from left to right. Abi, the name comes in, right? Okay, let me use it. So the name comes into the left and all that information, then the logo to the right. But if it is a if it is an Islamic speaking country, or maybe a Muslim speaking country, or where they read from right to left, and you hand over a beautifully designed business card that all the information is reading from left to right. Now, taking it to that kind of country to be useless because they read from right to left. Now, but because we understand design thinking, because if you have taken design thinking approach, you have understood that, okay, so where do you want to use this business card? If the guy tells you, oh, I'm using it in maybe perhaps maybe in Doha, or in an Arab speaking country, in an Arabian country, then okay, this place they read from right to left. Now I shouldn't do that kind of that kind of business card, even though the standard convention for business card should be from left to right. Now you want to do it from right to left. Why? Because you are thinking about your client's audience. We call that the end user. So we have the end user in mind, and that is what design thinking does. So you empathize with the end user, you are creative about whatsoever thing you are doing, because eventually we are solving problems, and you are also experimenting what works, what should work, why it works, and why I should make it better to make it work well for my end users, right? All right. So, and again, and that takes us to it. You say, what is design thinking? Okay, I've covered it here. I said it is human centered. Don't forget, I said it is for your client's audience. It is not really, it is not, it was never, design thinking was never for your audience. It was never for you from scratch. It was never for your client, rather, from scratch. That's always been for your client's audience. Has always been for your client's audience. Sorry, please let me turn on the spotlight. So that it is human centered. And number two, design thinking is not linear. Okay, because I can actually tell you right now that design thinking, okay, it actually contains about 5 different steps. Number one, you empathize with your audience or your end users. You empathize with the end user. From there, after the empathy, you define the problem you're trying to solve or the goal you're trying to achieve. Number three, step three is ideation, and step four is prototyping, and step five is testing and launching. Don't worry, the slide is going to show all of this. But I tell you, it is not linear. I mean, it is not, oh, step one, step two, step. It is actually iterative. What do I mean by that step being iterative? When you get to step two, perhaps maybe you've gotten to the prototype stage, or you've gotten to maybe stage four, and then there's actually an issue. You can't proceed to stage five. You might need to go back to stage two. If you get back to stage two and then you're done, you move to stage three. Maybe you notice an issue. You might need to just go back to stage one. So it is iterative. It is not linear. Okay? So that is something about design thinking process. And number three, the third thing about design thinking is that it is collaborative. It is not just about you. It is between you and your clients for the end users. If you are following, can I just see you following? If you're tracking, can you just write hashtag tracking in the comments? Hashtag tracking, 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 tracking. Okay, I'm not seeing any comments yet. And I see tracking, tracking. Yeah, all right. If you are following, can I see? Oh, thank you, Joshua. Tracking. All right. So we said design thinking is collaborative. So all right. So now let's go into what design thinking is. So again, I said design thinking. Please never forget. Even though you are seeing maybe about 5 steps here, it is not iterative. It is not. It is not linear. Rather, it is iterative. So it starts with empathy. Some people call it empathizing, the design thinking process. Don't worry, all of these things will make sense more when we get to the case study. I'll be sharing one case study with us because I value your precious time. I wouldn't want to bore you with so many case studies, just one. All right. So empathy. So the step one in design thinking, or maybe you have a graphic design project. The first thing is actually to empathize with your clients or with the end user. So at this point, you're trying to put yourself in the mind or in the shoes. You're trying to assume the one, like you're trying to assume yourself as the one that needs this product, that needs perhaps, okay, an empathy stage in design thinking process for somebody that needs a birthday graphic design, maybe birthday flyer design. Okay, so sorry for the disruption. Hello. Okay, sorry. I want to be sure you can hear me. I want to be sure you are here. Can I still get the words? If you are with me, just say I'm with you. I am with you. Hashtag I am with you. Hello. Oh, you are with me. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. So my sincere apologies. So there was a technical glitch. All right, so there was a technical glitch from my end here. All right, so we're talking about the empathy stage. Imagine I want to create a graphic design, a simple birthday flyer design for a 10 years old kid, or maybe a birthday invite design. Yeah, maybe an invitation card for a 10 years old, maybe an invitation card to the birthday of a 10 years old kid. Because the first stage for my design thinking is to empathize that okay, the kid is a 10 years old child, or this is a 10 years old child. What kind of design should I come up with? Because the empathy stage is what makes me to understand that I am not designing something that looks like what you are using to invite maybe a Baba 70 or a 70 years old man and his friends to a party. If it is a baby girl, imagine it is even a 10 years old baby and then perhaps a girl child, you might want to include a lot of pinks and all the things in that design. Why? I've empathized. So I want to include a lot of pinks, add a lot of balloons, the bells, the whistles, everything. But if it is a matured man's birthday, imagine a CEO's birthday, and you add so much stuff, it is not going to like the design. Why? Not because you're not a great designer, but because you didn't empathize properly with the man. You didn't empathize properly with your clients. And that is what the empathy stage is all about in design thinking. Next is definition. So at this point now, you want to define the problem. So after which you've empathized with your clients, you've known what they want, you've understood their pain. Because don't forget, I said design thinking or design or graphic designers, we are here to solve problems. Now you've understood their problem. The next thing is now you want to define the problem. Oh, your client reaches out to you. Oh, I want to invite 100 persons to my daughter's birthday. I don't want more than 100. Um, ensure it is fine, ensure it is inviting. Now, you as a designer, you're okay. I need to create a birthday invitation flyer design, a birthday invitation design for my client's daughter, who is a girl child, noting that okay, for just 100 persons. So it is in this definition that will guide your design that okay, maybe you just write 100 seats available, or 100 seats only, and all this other information you want to cap in that place. Because why? You follow through in the empathy stage, and now you're writing out you're defining the problem. Some people call this the project brief. Next, after defining the project, in the next stage of design thinking process now is the ideation. This is where you now generate creative solutions. And I tell you, there are two steps to doing this, and I want to bring it really, really local. I mean, I want to bring it really, really down to earth. So one way is either to brainstorm new ideas, or you research old ideas as working out and just innovate on it to do it. Because there's no really any need you reinventing the wheel. There is a solution for every problem you want to solve. For your creativity, you might just want to check things out, and this is why graphic designers either check maybe the design ideas on Pinterest, and other design other design other design things like that, right? So next, after which you've done okay, I'm sorry, I think I'm having a little issue with my slide here. The network is bad. I'm so sorry. I'm having a little issue with my slide here. I'm so sorry. Hello, I'm sorry. I guess my slide is stopped. Okay, so sorry. Let us just go on with this. So after the ideation stage, so after we empathized, we defined, we ideated. Next, so the next step is actually that you prototype. So at this prototyping stage, at this prototype stage, you want to build your tangible representation of your proposed solution, right? So at this point, this is where you either use your design tool, maybe Photoshop, illustration, and Canva. Canva, right? If it is a video editing project, maybe you want to use DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro, CapCut, and right? So if there are Canva users in the house or in the room, can I just see your hashtag Canva? If there are Canva users in the house, yeah, on this call, if you're a Canva user, can I just see your hashtag Canva? Oh, Canva users don't want to show.
Oh, oh, all we have here are current draw users. We don't have Canva
All right,
users.
okay. Hashtag, let me see an hashtag of your design too. Oh, if you're a CorelDRAW user, just write hashtag CorelDRAW. So, and if you use a
We are
combination,
current draw users
if you're a
here.
combination of the three, CorelDRAW, Photoshop, Illustrator, Canva, just write hashtag all. All right, so I said all of that to just let you know that it is not bad if you use Canva, right? Again, okay, let me just chip this in. Let me just chip this in. Oh, Sunday, I see you. You see, as a graphic designer, the three most important things you need to become a professional graphic designer that you've always wanted to be is number one, a deep understanding of the design thinking process, which is what you're mastering now, and number two, a full grasp of design thinking principles. We have about 7 to 8 design thinking principles and how to actually apply them to your design. And number three, master at least one design tool. If you have all of these three things armed to you, number one, a strong grasp of the design thinking process, mastery of design principles and how to apply them, and number three, master at least one design tool, whether Photoshop, Canva, or whatsoever, and know how to use it properly, become a professional graphic designer. So it goes beyond the two. Ask Jim. Jim uses a lot of graphic design tools. No, he uses a lot, right? So after mastering um, how to use your tool, go back to the other ones. All right. So let's get back. So we have CorelDRAW users winning the game here. All right. Okay. So let me get back to my slide. So this is where you now do the real design. You come up with your prototype, and after prototype, what's next? You want to test your design. You want to test your design. So at this point, you want to get real feedback from the users and the stakeholders to validate the effectiveness of your solution. For example, I want to try to make this practical so much. Imagine I created a flyer design. I'm coming. Let me see if I have something here. Look at this sticky note. I didn't mean this sticky note is my flyer design. But then after printing it out, I found out that my design was exceeding the bleed area. That, even when the flyer is being held, that some cogent informations are being covered by my thumb. My thumb is covering some cogent information. So I have to go back to the I have to go back to the prototype stage to re-edit the design so that the design can be in the safe area. That is the reason why we test. On a very good day, before designs are actually being printed out, I didn't want to work on a flyer. If it is a corporate organization, I didn't mean something as simple as a flyer. Before you print it out, you first print it on simple black and white A4 paper to just test it so you can see. There are some information rather, or error you don't even catch on screen. You only catch them, you only get to catch these pesky mistakes on paper. Sometimes you just have to print it out. Look out for errors, look out for potential errors before you actually roll them out to be used out there in the marketplace. All right. So that is basically the design thinking process. So all right. So these are just few points you just want to capture. Don't worry. I think if Jim approves, I'm willing to give out this slide. I'll be sharing the link to this slide, or I'll be giving out my slides for free. For free, I'll be giving it so you can always go right. So, for the empathy stage, so let us just quickly rush over it again. The empathy stage, one of those things that make the empathy stage stand out is that you conduct interviews with your clients. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask them questions. It could be a website design. Oh, I was handling a website design project yesterday, and I was asking my client, which is okay, just build this website. I want you to just complete it. Oh, the money is there. Don't worry, we are going. I was like, okay, who are your ideal targets? It was like everybody. I said no. Because will a 2 years old girl use your product? I was like, oh no, that's true. And then we began to talk about who the ideal audience is. Ask them who should use this stuff. What is the content? Why do they need this? What problem am I solving? What is the pain points? What is your audience going through? Why are we creating this website? Is it to drive sales? Is it for brand awareness? Or if it is for graphic design? Why are we creating this design? Is it okay? What's the call to action? Is it to get people to your website? Is it to get them to call you? If it is for call, oh, that is we want to ensure that phone number is the most prominent. If it is for the website, that is the website address will be the most prominent. So it is in all these interviews that helps you to know what you should do at the prototype stage. And don't be scared of asking questions. In fact, I dare tell you, whenever you ask your client enough questions, we call it qualifying questions. The more you're able to question them, the more they see you as a thought leader in what you're doing. And they respect you more. And most times, you're even able to charge them 2 to 4 times the original amount you should actually charge them for your projects by just asking intelligible questions. And number two, for empathy, the number two pro tip for empathy is that you should immerse yourself in your user's world, in the end user's world. Just immerse yourself. Think like them. Why should they need this thing? What should they need next? What next? What off? What if? What if? Why this? Just ask questions. Try to be in their shoes. Because at the next stage, you want to write out the problem statement. And the problem you're defining would be what will guide your next stage. Okay. So at this point, for the problem statement, I told you, so the step two in design thinking process is definition, right? So at this point, I just want to define the scope. So just write 1 or 2 lines that so simply captures what problem is, for who, and also remember to write the boundaries and constraints of the problem so you can focus your design effort. Okay? So we are designing a flyer designed to invite just 100 kids to a birthday party happening at Shomolu, happening at UK, happening at you get remember to put RSVP, and then you just write all of the don'ts that you don't want to be in the flyer or the project brief, right? Okay. So next, when it comes to ideation, I love it. You have to be divergent in your thinking. The pro tips for ideation is that you have to be divergent. No idea is useless at this point. No idea is useless. In fact, the idea that you're thinking that is most stupid might even be the most useful one. So think out loud, think out wide, expand your horizon. So you want to generate a wide range of ideas and solutions without judgment or constraints. So when you think of, oh, should I make the flyer A5? No. Oh, should I make it A3? Oh, no, no, no. Should I just make it small? No, no, no. Just keep writing those things down. Okay? And then if you have a team member, right? Or perhaps even your client, no, you don't want to engage with your clients. I know we are Nigerians and we're Africans. Just with your clients will think you don't know what you are doing. So you have another team member, right? Sometimes I engage with Jane. That, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Don't forget, two heads are better than one, right? And number three in the ideation stage is that you look out for existing solution. Pinterest is your best bet. And for Canva users, just go and search that go to Canva, search for that same design. I don't mean it's a birthday flyer, just a birthday flyer. Now, the idea is not that you just want to use the birthday flyer like that and change the name and send to your clients. No, just want to get template ideas. See how their templates are, see how they arrange the template. That's to fine tune or help you to innovate or come up with fresh ideas that are better than the existing solutions. Okay, if you notice, I've been talking about problem solution, because don't forget your graphic design is meant to solve a problem. We are not just designers, we are problem solvers. All right, so for the prototyping stage, this is where you are bringing your idea to life. You might start, so most times we all start with a low fidelity sketch. When I mean low fidelity, you just want to sketch it maybe with paper or pencil. If you have, your white, your pen tablet, you can just sketch it. Oh, I think the idea should be like this. This is where the heading should be. Oh, the contact should be here, and all of those things. Okay, so this could even be a simple pencil sketch on paper or even a quick design. And then from there, you actually continuously refine the prototypes in your design tool at this point. Okay, you could even do that even in your design tool, right? So you want to do the major design in your design tool, right? And when you are done, like I said, you want to gather feedbacks, because don't forget, we don't design for self-love, we design for our users need. We design for our users need, and not for self-love. Okay, so at this point you need your user or your client's validation. So this is the point where you want to get the feedback to access effectiveness and usability. Don't forget, it is not just about beauty, it is not about the aesthetics, it's also about the functionality of your design. And then you want to do iterative refinement. So in simple terms, this is where your client tells you that, oh, change the 10, make it smaller. And sometimes you want to tell them, no, if the 10 is smaller, small children, their attention span is too short. They will not see it. So let us make it big. Oh, okay, you know what? Let us add cake, or let us add icing on the number one around that 10, so that the icing will, it will grab their attention, and they want to look at it that, oh, 10 is 10. Things like that. And also continuous improvement. So even after pushing out your design, maybe for your next project, you also want to improve. You shouldn't do the same design you did the last time. You should improve. So you want to look at your last design, how well it did, and then use that to refine for subsequent projects. All right. So of course you've turned your ideas to reality, and that will be all now. So let's go to so all right. If you've learned anything so far so good, before I go to case studies, can I just see your emoji like I'm hearing you? Maybe emoji like I'm learning. Thank you. Or what? Let me. In fact, if you've learned anything in tonight's class, before we go to the case studies, can you just tell me one thing you learned in tonight's class in the comment section? If you've learned anything at all, if you've learned anything at all, don't worry, pride. If you've learned anything at all, let me just in comment section. All right, all right. Can I see it in comment section? Whatever you've learned at all, so that we can quickly go to the next process. So we can really go to case study. Okay, I'm learning research from templates. Oh, makes sense. All right. So Favor also said, I'm learning. Oh, thank you. Research from templates. So it gets ideas from solutions, from previous solutions that have worked. All right, so this is our 40th minute. So we spent the first 20 minutes to give you an introduction into design thinking. The second 20 minutes into everything you need to know about practicality of design thinking. Now, the last 20 minutes of this class, I want to spend it on a case study. But because I value your precious time, I don't want to share all the case studies I have here. So I just want to, just sit with. I intended sharing about three case studies. Number one, I wanted to share how I applied design thinking to a project, a standalone project I had with the travel tech brand Wakana. Then a top actor, a top list Nollywood actor, Chioma Agwunobi, and then a church flyer for the Union City Church. But then, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to actually expose us to what I did for Chioma Agwunobi, a top list Nollywood actor. All right, so look at the goal for the design. Okay, I don't want to look at my slide this time around. All right, thank you, Favor. Yeah, a lot like searching project template for design. Oh, Joshua Menkiti, thank you. Thank you, Manuel. I learned that my design is not for the end users, not really about my clients. Oh, thank you. Oh. Oh, thank you. Oh, that is encouraging. That is really, really, really encouraging. That is really, really encouraging. That is really, really encouraging. All right. So, okay, let us just go there. So, that is really, really, really encouraging. All right. So, for the case study, I really don't want to look at my slide. Um, Let me explain something to you. I don't want to bore you. So, for the Chioma Agwunobi's projects, I want to be as natural as possible. I don't want to look at my slide. Um, so Chioma reached out to me while we were having the brand strategy session. I was having a brand strategy session with her. I was help her, build a personal brand and just so that she can be positioned properly in the mind of a target audience. So the Chioma we are talking about is not just an actor. She's also an event compare, what she call MC. She does MC for top brands like Radisson Blue, Nivea, Wendy's, top brands in Nigeria, Bright Pan, the governors, all of these guys. She's a filmmaker. She's a life coach. And yeah, and number five, she's a public speaker. So how do I position Chioma Agwunobi well in the mind of a target audience? Because she was like, okay, Solomon, I need a portfolio, or I need a this thing that looks more or less like a CV that she can always share with prospective clients so they can know what she has done before, who she is, her background, pretty cool her background, who she is, what she has done, and why they should choose her. So I told her that okay, now this is where design thinking comes in. So I sat with her, I told her, okay, narrate everything about you to me. She told me how she started her events compare, where she was, how she started to where she is right now, what she has done. I was like, you know what? You're an high ticket, and I told her that you know what? You're an high ticket event compare or event or MC. The right word is MC. So why not let's come up with a design instead of the standard portfolio? Why not let us come up with something that looks more or less like a kind of magazine highlight for you instead of the standard project portfolio, instead of standard CV like proposal, or this profile, this CV like profile. Let us come up with something that looks more or less like a magazine. And she was like, oh, that's good. Now I was thinking for her, why? Because I started with the empathy stage. And the reason why I suggested that solution was that instead of doing the regular um, portfolio template or portfolio CV, as it were, I think they call it profile. Yeah, profile. Instead of doing the regular profile that looks like a CV, let us do something that is going to position you in the mind of your targets as an elite MC. Yo, Scully, welcome on board. Welcome on board, Scully. All right. And that was what we did. And that was what we did. So in a minute, I'm going to share. I'm going to share. I'm going to share what we did in a minute. Okay. So instead of having the standard, stuffs like this, something like this, instead of having these standard stuffs like this, this is what we would rather, always want to do. Maybe one of these, a good profile. Oh, I just want to maybe add an introduction, do all of those things, just write introduction. So we came up with something like this instead for Chioma Agwunobi. We came up with this. I don't know if you can see this. So this is looking more or less like it is having this kind of magazine feel. It's having this kind of achieved, this A-list MC. Why? Because I empathized with her. Not because the idea fell from somewhere. No. The only thing we did was just to empathize with her. Empathy. I try to be in our own shoes. The difference between sympathy and empathy is that sympathy, imagine you fell down. If I'm sympathizing with you, I just tell you sorry. But imagine I've also once fell down before. I've fallen down before. And I know how painful it is when you hit your knees, your kneecap on the tiles. And then I see somebody else hit his knee. The way I'll say sorry will be different from the way somebody that has not felt that kind of pain will tell you sorry. Okay? So that's empathy. So sympathy is just you trying. No, empathy, you try to be in the shoe. So I tried to be in my client's shoe. I was like, okay, what would be the perfect solution for her? And we thought and we were brainstorming because she has told me what she wanted. And I said, okay, let us use this. And then that was how we came up with this solution. Do you get? All right. So I said, okay, so let me just quickly get back to my slide so that I can entertain questions. So the goal was to develop a high ticket portfolio that would establish her as an elite event compare, actor, or public speaker in the eyes in the mind of a target, particularly high-paying clients. This way, she could compete for prestigious events and command higher fees. That was the goal. We just wanted her to compete for prestigious events and command higher fees. So we need to position her like that. So the problem we are solving here was not even the problem of portfolio. It was the problem of personal brand positioning. Do you get the idea? If you are learning, can you just say tracking? Can I say hashtag tracking? Hashtag tracking. All right, I'm not getting our hashtag. Hashtag tracking. Hashtag. Oh, thank you, but Daniel. Tracking. Very good. All right. So how did I apply? How did we apply design thinking? I mean, the 5 steps of design thinking for this project to actually come up with that design. So the first thing was empathy. I asked multitude of questions about her backstory. I explored her entire journey from the beginning to her current position. You get the individuals she has collaborated with, companies she has worked with. I asked all these questions. So that was how I was able to empathize with her. Don't forget, I said the pro tip for empathy is interviewing and immersion. You ask your client enough questions about the product, about their goal, about their aspiration related to what you want to do. And number two, you immerse yourself in them. Try to think about them. Try to be like them. Try to be in their own shoes, just like wearing their shoe. And number two, after I've done of that, I crafted the problem statement in 1 or 2 lines. I wrote it out straight. So there is a need for a professional portfolio that showcases as a premier MC, actor, public speaker, and you get for what? To attract high ticket clients. So we did all of this just to attract high ticket clients. And that was how the problem, that was how the problem, that was step 2 of design thinking process. And step 3, ideation. Did I tell you that it would be a joke if I tell you that, oh, when I said, oh, okay, let us create something that looks like a magazine, I just went to my design team, I started designing. No, I didn't do that. I went to the ideation stage. I began to think and I went to Pinterest, searched for different magazine flyer design. I even searched for things like Forbes magazine design ideas, went to Pinterest, went to Canva to look out for templates. So it is when I went there, I tried to put my mood board together. You go, okay, I think I love this design idea. Oh, this is going to work. Oh, I love this. I love this. And then you put everything together to refine, so innovatively refine all to give you 1 or 2 designs at the end of the day, so you can design, so you can add variants for your ideal clients to pick. And it's at this process now that you now start applying your design skills. Your crafts, and then you start doing all of your designs and everything. And when I was done, what did I do? So for me, I used Canva. Canva users, this was designed from scratch with Canva. All of this was designed from scratch with Canva. Trust me, it's Canva. It's Canva from scratch. It's Canva. So I used Canva to search out for templates, worked with them, and then the last stage was I collected a feedback and continuously refined until no mistake was found, until we caught all pesky mistakes in the design. And that was it. That was how we were able to finalize that project. And the results is what you are seeing on your screen right now. So, co-creators, co-creatives, collaborators, basically, with taking off all the jargon that I might want to say out there, this is what design thinking actually means, and that is how to apply it to your design and even your everyday life. Imagine you're planning an event, maybe birthday, and then you're calling an event planner. The event planner, when they empathize properly with you, they would know how to design the event hall. They wouldn't design an event hall for somebody for a 25 years old birthday celebration to look like a 70 years old burial ceremony. Why? Because they empathize. Number two, they've defined the problem. There's a problem. The hall is empty. It is not beautiful. So the problem now is, the solution is, how do we make it beautiful so it can command the ambience that my friends would want to stay with, to create memories that last. I don't know if you're tracking. So whether you're an event planner, you're a caterer, or anything that virtually needs creativity or that virtually needs you solving problem, you need design thinking to get all of these things done. So friends, collaborators, I think right now I'm done with everything. The most practical thing, and I mean the most important thing you need to know about design thinking. Gracias. So I'm open to questions.
All right, guys. So, if you have questions for Mr. Solomon, please drop in the comment section below so he can see to get your answers. All right. Please drop your comments in the comment section below. If you have any question for him, please do so. All right, you're welcome, Mr. Adebajo. Thank you so much for the value. You're welcome. So if you have any question, please drop in the comment section below so we get your question across to Mr. Solomon. And thank you as you do. Hi guys, please if you have question for Mr. Solomon, please drop in the comment section below. Okay, we have a question from Mr. Adeyemi Emmanuel. So Mr. Solomon, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Okay, so I have a question from Mr. Adeyemi. So he said, "Thank you very much, sir. I want to ask that, ask a creative, does it mean that design thinking is very essential when communicating with a client even before any work is carried out at all?" Let me take that again. I want to ask, as a creative, does it mean that design thinking is very essential when communicating with a client even before any work is carried out? Do you get the question, Mr. Solomon?
All right.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Adeyemi. Um, I appreciate that question. Um, First, I think
All right.
this should
Before you take that question, please drop the question in the comment section. All right, because I'm going to take it one at a time. All right. I can see your question coming in, but I'm going to take that one at a time so Mr. Solomon will get answers for you. All right. So thank you. You can go ahead, please.
all right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually seeing Emmanuel Ante's questions too, and then it got me laughing. I mean, it got me smiling. We all face that problem. All right. Ademi Manuel, thank you for your question. So, as a creative, of course, it means everything. So, please, I'm in the class, in the meeting. All right. So, if you follow design thinking process succinctly or squarely, you see that before you actually start a project, you should actually start with something called the discovery session. And this is where you get to empathize. Okay, let me explain this. For a typical web design project or a graphic design project, before I begin to even talk about the monetary aspect or what you want to, oh, how much are we charging, what do we need to do, I first get on something called a discovery call or a clarity call with my clients. This is where I get to empathize. This is where I get to understand their problem. It is at this point, see, when you get the empathy stage sorted, all other stages build on it. Okay. So before you even start, before you get to the prototype stage, where you actually go to your design to start developing things, you want to first start with the empathy stage. If you're able to, to clarify this empathy stage in what we call the discovery session, this is where you're discovering the problem, the scope of the project, you're trying to understand everything. From here, you even know if this client is the best fit for you. This is where you even discover or determine if the client you're working with is the best fit for you. This is where you get to know, oh, if the problem requires two or maybe three more specialties or more designers and other things like that. So yes, the answer to this, the short answer to this question is yes. You need to apply design thinking is essential when communicating with clients, even before any design, even before going to your design tool. You need to understand their problem, and that's in layman term we call it discovery session. So always see, all of these things will make you make you not look, but make you actually be professional. So a client tells me, oh, so I need a graphic design. That's okay, thank you. I need a graphic design. I want to do this. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll just send a message. Oh, thank you for reaching out to Solomon to help us clarify on your design and so that I can get the best results. And we just jump on a quick 20-minute Zoom session to clarify on what your problem is, what the project delivery should be, so that you can get the best delivery. Something like that. Just send it to them, and then you add the Google Meet link. So it is in this place that you begin to ask them questions, begin to tell you. In fact, they tell you many things. They even tell you that, oh, I've given this job to somebody, he did nonsense. This is where my clients get to them that, oh, I gave this job to somebody, he did nonsense. Look at what he did. Oh, I want, and then so in my head now, I'm like, okay, this is what I shouldn't do. She gets. So it is important. I don't know if that answered Ademi's question. And one other thing is that some clients will tell you that, oh, just send me designs, send me samples. I know if the client is not even talking to you normally, send me samples. And I know they are not even appreciating you. I don't think that's the right fit for you. They might begin to disturb you when it comes to payments. Okay, because an ideal client for you to be ready to listen to you when you're asking questions. Thank you. Yeah, jumping on the discovery session to understand what the client wants is important. So whenever a client reach out to you, you say, oh, thank you for reaching out to Adeyemi Manual Designs. Okay, to help clarify on what design you want and to help you get premium delivery, for you to get a premium delivery at the end of the day, let's quickly jump. When would you be free for a quick 10 minutes or for a quick 15 minutes Google Meet session to clarify on the project and the deliverables so you can get a problem, so you can get a premium delivery. Don't forget, you're trying to push it to them that so that they can get a premium delivery. When would they be free for a 20 minutes, for a quick 20 minutes, or you could say 15 minutes discovery session on Zoom? This would make them see that, oh, this guy's professional. And it is in that place that you're able to even know, oh, is this client the best fit for me? Will I charge more? If you're going to charge $200 before, oh, is it time to charge it $200? All right. I hope that answers your question, Adeyemi.
Um, I think that was a great one, Mr. Solomon, and thank you for that insight. All right, I'm going to bring the Mr. Daimi. I think you should be cleared by now. If you're not cleared, please notify me in the comment section. But I think Mr. Solomon came prepared for you guys. All right, so I'm going to take the next question. So Mr. Joshua said, "What about how to use fonts?" Okay, how to use
Okay.
fonts. So I think, do you want to take that question now, or I should come in?
Well, well, maybe I'll just touch on it so that so that Mr. Joshua will feel heard.
All right,
So
all
for
right. So,
so so,
Mr.
so
Joshua, please pay attention while you answer your question. All right. So, thank you.
all right, thank you, so Mr. Joshua. So what about how to use fonts? So this question, the answer to this question is in the step 4 of the design thinking process, design thinking step, which is actually prototyping. So let's take this case study, my client's job. This client job I actually worked on as a case study. The font choice here was actually based on my understanding of the project from step 1 and step 2. You would not want to design, a magazine for a woman, to position her as an airlight, or that give this sense of luxury. And then I start using, two slick fonts like maybe Poppins, or using, using all those fonts like Anton, except how you want to stylize it to make it look, luxury, or look this, this airlight. So the font choice was dependent on the empathy stage also. I knew the problem I was solving. I needed something that looks like a magazine for airlights. Okay. And when I checked samples of magazine, none of them really used, the kind of font I used was what they used. They used, all these all these script like, all these all these serif that are having this luxurious feel. Okay. So again, it starts from the empathy stage to defining your problem, and then coming up with different ideas. So how about how to use fonts? So the short answer to this, how about how to use fonts, is that you need to follow the first 3 steps of design thinking. When you follow the first 3 steps of design thinking with your clients, you will know the perfect font to use for your project. Does that answer your question, Joshua?
All right, all right, all right, all right. So, thank you, Mr. Solomon.
All right,
All
thank
right,
you,
Mr.
Mr.
Joshua,
Emmanuel.
I guess. Huh?
Yeah, I said thank you, Mr. Emmanuel.
Okay. Mr. Joshua, I guess you're okay. So, if you're not fine, please notify in the comment section below. But Mr. Solomon is actually here for you guys, and he's
Thank you for
loaded.
having me. Thank you for having me. Thank you
All
for
right,
having me.
Mr. Emmanuel Ante asked a question. He said, um, please, how do I handle a client who thinks her own color combination? Mr. Emmanuel, I think I love this your question because I have similar experience, man. But anyway, I handle it my own way. Okay, so the question is, please, how do I handle a client who thinks her own color combination is better even when it's obvious to me as a graphic designer that the color doesn't fly? Ah,
All right.
all right.
Oh, oh,
Solomon,
oh.
I think yeah, over to you. All right.
All right. Okay. So, Mr. Emmanuel, I actually understand that things like this happen every time. However, I would love to answer your question from 3 different angles. The first,
Okay.
from the damage control. Right? If you are currently experiencing this, we should actually look at damage control now. It has happened already. So how do you solve this? But so we look at it from the how do we solve this, and number two, the second angle I also want us to look at it from is how to prevent this so it never happens. Okay, so let me just say those 2 angles. Number one, how to solve this, and number two, I mean from the curative approach that is solving the problem right now, if you're experiencing it, and from another approach, I'll be answering also from the other angle of how do you even prevent this. So the short answer to how do you even prevent something like this is that Let them go through the discovery session. In the process of a client going through discovery session, one of the questions you also ask in discovery session is that you ask that what, like, they should share their design inspirations. What design inspires them? You even give them the option that, okay, you send different designs, that which one do they really love, or which one inspires them. Now, when they see the design that is, think, please look at this thing. This is psychology. Design thinking is psychological. It's a sales process. It's one of the ways to convert your clients. It's one of the ways to get them to do what you want them to do. So if I want to deal with them, I tell them, oh, I'll follow this up with a proposal. I'll send ideas. I'll send different drafts. Right? So in process of even asking the question, oh, is it for this? And then you find out that, okay, so it's a bed design. Okay, so for this kind of design, this is kind of design that has worked in time past. These are how the fonts are being used. Oh, this is the perfect color. Oh, imagine somebody wants to design something for natural products. I'm like, oh, for natural products, this skin nice. We'll be using more of greens, and maybe, brownish stuff to just symbolize down to earth, and maybe just a tone of yellow to give the design a punch. Now, in the discovery session, I'm already saying all of this, so the audience mind is aware. So even if they are being prejudiced, that is, they have a design idea in their mind before coming for the meeting, through the discovery session, it will break down all those biases and misconceptions and help them put their mind in the right shape. I don't know if you understand. But now that it has happened, how do you convince this client that? Because the question now here is convincing. And now, when it comes to the question of convincing, two things are involved. Are you really interested in solving the right problem, solving this problem really for your client, so that they can get the best job? Or you're just like, oh man, I want to save my life from stress. I'll give you what you want and just pay me my money. If what you want to do is the first, which is what I advise, then you have to let the client see that you have to, one of those things you need to do is to show previous design, previous solutions. Maybe go to Pinterest, show the client, oh, look at these are the colors. And then also let your clients know the reason why you are using the color you are using. I just don't have so much information about what design is this. See, please, how do I have the client who thinks our own color combination is better, even when it's obvious to me that graphic design and color combination doesn't fly. So I mean, for this kind of case, I could show the clients, oh, if you are dealing with, maybe I didn't want to use maybe just black and gold, and I'm like, oh, black actually evokes a sense of sophistication and luxury, and gold also invokes a sense of sophistication. But the client is insisting that I use pink. Put pink because the client loves pink, and I'm like, okay, if you love pink, but pink is cool. I appreciate you. Let them feel heard. Let them feel appreciated. Appreciate their choice. But however, for this project, for this problem you are trying to solve, for this project, it does not evoke that sense you want to get at the end of the day. Oh, this is the definition of pink. I even go as far as screenshotting, and the canva.com/colors helps you clarify many meanings of many colors. Okay, one, that is one step. And number two is that the best way to solve this at the Emmanuel practically is that I come up with my original. Let me use this sticky note to show you. It's actually a model, because as graphic designer, don't forget you are psychological. We are just using sense. So I come up with three different designs. The major design I wanted my client to pick is in the middle, and I'll come up with about two different ones that looks like it, but I know that this one will not be as good as the one in the middle, and the third one will not be as good as the one in the middle. So I present the client with three different ideas. I know that eventually he's going to fall in love with the one in the middle, but I just did these two other designs, see these two evolutions, as a means of distraction, psychology. Okay, so for this kind of clients, you can just tell them, oh, this is why I use this color. Simple explanation. The reason why I use this color is this, and let it be focused on the client or for their audience. I didn't want to use it for their own audience. That, oh, so that your audience can resonate with this, so that it can generate enough brand awareness, so that your audience can relate with this design. this color is the perfect color that matches with your brand, and that is why I used it. But if you insist that I use this other color, you might use it, but it will not get you the result you want. Now the client begins to think that, oh, it's not getting the result I want. And then if the client insists, just do it and create your own variation. I think is the perfect choice. I say, okay, if you insist, I'm giving you this, but consider looking at this variation I came up with again at your leisure, and just give them time to think over it. And you see that they just come back to you that, okay, let us work with what you say. I don't know if that has answered the question, Emmanuel. I'm so sorry if you're in that kind of situation right now. I empathize with you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Solomon. All right, Mr. Demi. I think he's satisfied with your answers. All right. I can see his reaction over here.
Yeah,
He said,
right.
yeah, very thoughtful, and thank you very much, sir. Jumping on a discovery section to understand what the client wants. All
Yeah,
right, I
right.
think that's a very key note. So you know that. All right. I think I'm going to take the next question. How can I monetize my skill as an upcoming designer so that I can start getting clients? Your respond your response will be highly appreciated. I'm going to take that again. How can I get monetized? How can I monetize my skill as an upcoming designer so that I can start getting clients? Your response will be highly appreciated. So over to you, Mr. Solomon. He's
All
asking
right.
how to get clients, how he will start making money as a graphic designer. Well, yeah, you guys are following my hand because this, like, somebody have made testimony on this channel, like telling me how you have started getting clients. Are you new to this channel, or like, I'm not understanding? You want to tell me you've not gotten a client ever since you joined this channel? Stop angering me. Oh my
All
god.
right. All
Mr.
right.
Daniel,
So,
you're not gonna tell me that you've not gotten a client ever since you've been watching me. Ah, that's bad. That's bad. Anyway, Mr. Solomon will tell you how to get clients. That's
all
why he's
right.
here.
Okay. So this is James' habitat. So he's going to share more on these, but then I'll just tell you maybe about 2 to 3 things on how you can monetize your skill as an upcoming graphic designer so that you can start getting clients. The first 3 questions I'll first ask you is that have you mastered your crafts? Have you mastered it so much? Like have you perfected, even not perfected, have you fine-tuned your craft to the extent that clients can trust you with their projects, with their problems? Have you mastered design thinking process like what I'm teaching right now? Like what we're sharing tonight? Have you perfected design principles and how to apply them to your designs? Have you mastered at least one tool? If you've checked all those boxes, have you started? Have you looked out for tutorials like on Jim Graphics YouTube channel? Design the exact thing he designed. Go through his tutorials, design the exact thing he designed, and just post it on your Instagram page. Share it on your WhatsApp. That, oh, today just create a story around it. Oh, today I created this. Share it on your WhatsApp. Share it on your Instagram. Share it on your pages. Let just be ad. Let people see what you're doing. Can also vouch, number one. So the first step is, if you've checked all boxes, first step is show up, is content creation. Number two, offer to do free jobs for people. You see some, I'm celebrating my daughter's birthday. Oh, if you don't mind, I can do a graphic design for you. The church is there. Oh, I want to design a flyer for my church this Sunday service. Just start showing up. Start doing free designs. Start doing free things. Watch out. Number three, another method is that watch out for challenges. I know Mr. Jim is going to share a lot.
Sorry, Mr. Solomon. You know, I'm I'm a preacher of no free design. Sorry
Ah,
to
ah, 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 ah. At the starting stage, right? You might want to do all of those things at the
Yeah, you're
starting
right
stage.
because once you do, there are on the starting stage. There are times you have to render free services. I've told you guys before. You understand? There are times you render free services because those people will actually recommend you to other people. You understand? Those people will actually recommend you to other clients. So, but it's a win-win thing because another person might ask that same client and tell, oh, who designed this for you? And the person will be like, is this for so person? How much? It was for free.
Ah, ah.
That will actually. Anyway, I'm not saying it's bad. You get, but I've rendered free service when I was starting up. You get, but currently I'm not actually a preacher of free designs. But as a startup, you should render free service, as Mr. Solomon will say. You get, but along the line, you have to start chipping in.
Sure.
Some funds because most of these things you it's a skill and it requires time. You understand? It takes a
Yeah.
lot from you. It takes timing, emotions. You get you buy data, you have to buy gadgets to do all these things, you make research. So all these are processes. So it requires you sometimes add up some. But I actually believe even though it's a penny, you understand? Even though it's a penny, that's from my own perspective. You understand? Even though it's a penny, add up to it. Don't just do free work because you're looking for client. But as a startup, you render free designs to get recommended. You understand? Because you before you start, you need some jobs for people to see that this is what you're capable of doing. So you can actually get those jobs without rendering free service. You understand? So I go with Mr. Solomon, and I'm okay with his answer. So I'm going to take another question. I believe Mr. Daniel, if you're cool with his answer, please indicate in the comment section. I believe everybody here um, is getting value from this live stream. Please do me a favor and share this video. All right, share with your friends so uh at least take me to the next level. Take us to the next level. All right, so I'm going to take the next question. All right. I'm going to take the next question. Um, okay. Okay, Mr. Adebajo said, please, are we going to get access to the after section? Please make your question understandable. I don't understand what you mean by that. All right, I don't understand what you mean by that. So, if you have any other question, please drop in the comment section below. And Mr.
Okay.
Daniel said he understood. Yeah, come again.
All right. Okay. I think I understand Mr. Adebajo's question. Said, is he going to get Mr. Adebajo? I guess what he meant was the slide, access to the slide after the session.
Okay, access to the slide. Okay, I get it now. All right, that's fine. Mr. Solomon, I think if you can permit us to have access to that slide,
Yeah,
that would be
definitely.
unique.
Right. It was designed
All
by a
right, so
designer.
I want to drop you guys the link in the community tab. I'm going to drop you guys the link to the drive. He will upload it to a Google Drive, so I'm going to share the link to you guys. And for those of you who don't have CorelDRAW, for those of you who have been messaging me for CorelDRAW, please, it's available. All right, it's available. So I'm going to drop links on Instagram. On Instagram, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to communicate to you guys how to get it. So this live section will be coming up once in a while, right? I'll be bringing up. Lately, we'll be bringing different people to to communicate value on different topics to you guys. I believe we are getting what we sign up for. It's actually free, all right? So please always stay tuned to this channel to get um, to get more values from different speakers. So I think that's the only question we have for today. So I'm gonna give room for other questions. All right, I'm gonna give room for other question. All right. If you have any other question, please drop in the comment section. Drop in the comment section. All right, Mr. Daniel say thank you, Mr. Solomon. Well understood. You're welcome, Mr. Daniel.
You're welcome.
So I have room for more question, and if you don't have more question, please let me believe you guys are let me believe we are on the same page. All right. So I believe you guys are well understood. So if you have more question, please drop in the comment section for Mr. Solomon before we call it a night. If you have more question, I'm waiting. All right, so Mr. Solomon, I believe this is the last question we have. So, if you want to reach out to Mr. Solomon, I'm going to drop his YouTube channel. All right, I'm going to drop the handle to his YouTube channel in the community tab, so you guys to follow and support his channel. All right, so that will be you get the links by tomorrow. If you want to see more of Mr. Solomon, I'm going to drop the link to his channel, all right, in the community tab for you guys to follow and get more values from him. And lastly, I'm sorry for not putting out videos for a long time. Like I said in the beginning of this section, please, I have a lot of work. I have a lot of projects at hand, and we'll be back soon and very, very strong. We back strong. We'll be back strong. So, Mr. Solomon, if you have any other thing to add up to this section, please, the floor is yours because I think that's the last question we have.
All right. Okay. So thank you, Mr. Manuel. Thank you for having me, Mr. Jim. Thank you for having me, and I'm happy. I love your community. I love they are really open. So don't forget, you're creative, you're innovative. Um, Creativity is not just about designing things that are beautiful. Creativity is about identifying a problem, understanding it, and creating a tailored solution to that
Mm,
problem. So you're a problem solver. You have the mind, you have the mind of God in you. Don't forget you are created in the image and the likeness of God. So you're a problem solver. Can solve problem, can build, you can bring out beauty from ashes. That was what God did. He saw darkness and then he called forth light. That is who we are as creatives. So don't be scared. Mr. Daniel, go out there, show off your design. Matthew 5:14 and 16 say we should go out there in public as light. Let them see your design. Let your design so much shine. Show off God colors. Show off your design. It is not showing off. Let people see what you do. And don't be scared of just showing your design. Show it, just screenshot it, and you'll be surprised. And the next 6 months down the line, you see who you've become. And don't forget two more things. In the process, for you to just become the better you, watch a lot of Jim graphics videos. I've seen most of his videos. You will learn a lot. You will learn a lot. Well, you can just make up your mind that for the next 60 days, I want to ensure that I watch 30 videos, 30 YouTube videos on graphic design. Watch them. When you're done, give yourself a challenge that the same design you watched, you want to do the same thing. Even if it doesn't work, like you might not get the same thing, just post it. By the time you get to day one, day two, the design you create on day two is better than what you created on day one. By day 10, your day 10 design will be better than day one design. By day 30,
mm,
you'd have seen great improvements.
yeah.
And don't forget, post them on your status. Let people see your growth. Let them see your process. It gets to a point that you cannot be ignored. Start getting jobs. People start reaching out to you. And
Sharply.
the way to the top is just that. Thank you. I respect you all. I'm Solomon, the creative beacon. I am here to lead, teach, and inspire the next generation to unlock their creative potentials. Thank you. Mr. Jim, respect.
Yeah, you're welcome, and thank you for being with us, Mr. Solomon. So after this class, after this section, sorry, I want to drop. I'm used to saying class, 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 class. So after this section, I'm going to drop every detail about Mr. Solomon, so you guys can reach out to him. And I was actually seeing the pastor and you coming out gradually.
Ah, 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 ah. Ah.
All right. So basically, in terms of getting clients, it's not actually an easy task, to convince somebody. See, I was telling somebody that I am very, very easy to convince people. Like I am very, I am very easy to come. I go for. I'm very easy. Like I find it so easy to convince people. It's like more of somebody who have read a book and going to an exam hall to just write. It takes me nothing to convince somebody. It takes me nothing. I don't know how I do it, but I don't just know how I do it. But it takes me nothing to convince somebody or a client. Let me just use the word client. It takes me nothing to convince the client. You get, I can convince a client to even go. You will tell me that the color I used is not flying, just like the other question. But I want to convince you that the color I used is is the best. Like at the end, the client will fall for it. You understand? I don't know how I do it. Like I said, I don't know if it's in me. I know how to convince the client very well. But I believe this thing is a stage, just like this popular comedian, the stalker. He said, "Life is a process. So the more you go, the more experience you gather, the more confidence you gain, and the more success you gain. So this is just a stage. All right, sorry for that. I actually lost my connection. So I think this brings us to the end of this section. So I'm going to see you guys in my next live section with another guest. Any person you want me to bring that is accessible to me, I'm going to bring that person to this live. All right, so I'm going to call it a night and see you guys in my next video. Peace.